Okay, good to see everyone again. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to our veterans for protecting and securing our freedom. So I'd like to say thank you on behalf of Tennessee football and all that you do. Noon game, it's all about our noon focus. Our student body is the best in the country. They've been outstanding, and any time we present a challenge for them, they answer that challenge, and I'd like to challenge them to get in the Neyland Stadium and help provide a great home field advantage for us, and we're going to need them, and we're one Tennessee coming together at noon. So students out there, we need you at the game, so please come and attend the game. They've been outstanding, along with our entire fan base. I'd also like to say congratulations to Jarnell Stokes and the Miami Heat, joining Josh Richardson. I think Coach Spo likes Tennessee Vols, so obviously that's great to see. But we've had a good week of preparation so far. I really like the focus that our players have had in their approach and really tightening things up and our habits and our fundamentals, our details, our execution. I thought we had one of our better Tuesday practices yesterday. Now we obviously have to have a great practice today, and but I've liked our mindset so far and in moving forward. In terms of an injury front, I know you guys have been asking about Kurt Magid, and we did get back the MRI, and it's basically the status hasn't changed. It's going to be based on how his body continues to heal over the next couple weeks. Anything would be speculation to say whether he'd be able to play in the bowl game or not. We'll have to wait and see. But he is getting better. He is progressing, but it's all premature to speculate whether he'll be back or not. But he's progressing well. Kyle Phillips will be out for the rest of the season. He'll have shoulder surgery. You know, he was starting to play very, very well, but we need to get that corrected so we can move forward and get him back, because he's got a chance to be a special player, and love everything about Kyle. Ja'Shawn Robertson, right now I would say he's probably doubtful for the game. Brett Kendrick was able to make it through practice, and Brett has done everything in his power to get back, and we appreciate his efforts, and we'll know a little bit more, but he did do some things in practice, which was great to see. Preston Williams will know a little bit more later in the week on how he progresses. Marquez North, I would say his status is basically day-to-day. Some days he feels better than others, but again, these individuals are working so hard in their recovery and working to get back, and we appreciate their efforts.
We just wanted to go back to Kyle. Obviously, he appeared in the game on Saturday. What changed? Did he hurt anything in that, or has it just been sort of a cumulative effect? I mean, what kind of led to the decision for him to have surgery?
It was in the game on the one play, and he's battled and battled and battled and put himself in a situation, a position to be able to play, but it occurred during the game, and it's the same shoulder that's been bothering him. So we're going to get it corrected. He'll undergo surgery, and he'll come back, and he'll be bigger and stronger because of it.
Hey, Coach, just speaking from a personal standpoint, this is a pretty stressful time of the semester for college students. I know you guys are all really into sports science, so I was just wondering, do you all educate your players on like kind of successful methods to like cope with stress to make sure it doesn't have a negatively impact them on the field?
Absolutely. They're student athletes first and foremost, and it's staying on top. It's time management. It's investing your time. But that's a big part of it, and you're exactly right. It is an important part of the semester. And, you know, as the season progresses, you cut back practice a little bit just because of the wear and tear on the bodies, but also with the academic workload as well. So we're very cognizant of that, and we talk to them about that daily.
Butch, as far as Ethan Wolf, he's had a limited number of catches in recent games. Would you like for him to be a part of the passing game?
Yeah, you know, some defenses have really taken him out of it. Some has been kind of the situations of the game, but Ethan is a Very, very good football player for us. Very good receiver. Has done a great job with run after the catch. He continues to get better. But he's a big weapon in our offense, and we have to continue to work to get him the football. Sometimes, you know, he may be the first or second read in the progression, and he's taken away. But he's proved himself as a weapon, has done a great job. And the thing that I've been really, really pleased with Ethan, and Ethan's as competitive of a young man as we have. He doesn't say a lot, but he's a quiet competitor, and he's driven for excellence. And he's really, really worked his blocking skills. I think the last 3 weeks, he has made monumental strides in his blocking, his ability to sustain, understanding blocking angles, hands inside, elbows tight. And I've really been excited about his overall growth and development.
First, with Kurt, you would say the bowl game. Is there any chance that he could return during the regular season, or would it be bowl game or nothing?
I think that's a long shot, just to be quite frank with you. I don't see that happening. I think a bowl game would be where we would set our sights on, but you never know. It's basically on how the body heals, and I could be standing up here before you next week and saying he's good to go, or I could be sitting up here and saying, you know, it's not gotten any better. You just don't know. It's based on how the body heals. But Kurt is doing a great job with rehab and recovery. He's been very dedicated to it. He's been very positive. So it's just really, truly a wait and see.
And also just with Derek Barnett, what's been the difference you've seen in these last 4 games? What kind of has sparked this late season surge again for him?
I think it starts with his fundamentals. I think at times he was trying to be too perfect, where now he's much more comfortable. He's getting off the ball. He's winning the first step. He's really worked hard on his technique. I think, you know, he's been hampered by nagging injuries, and to his credit, he continues to just go and go and go, and he's got a great internal drive. And that's the thing that I said on Monday with this football team and after the game on Saturday. There are so many untold stories in terms of resiliency and resolve and grit and grind of this football team, where these kids just continue to bring it every day. They've done a great job with Jason McVay in the weight room, and they just bring it every day. And I think it shows in our character. I think it shows in the way we're playing right now. But you know, these kids have been remarkable all year.
Coach, Von Pearson the last 2 weeks, kind of the most productive stretch of his career. I think 13 catches. Just, you know, what is a light bulb going on with him? Is it chemistry between him and Josh? What's he doing to show up so much?
First of all, I think we've been able to get him involved in the passing game early. So I think that has helped matters of getting him involved early. He's practiced exceptionally hard. He's brought it every day. He's had a great mindset, and he continues to work and improve. And I really believe you get out of it what you put in it. And that's a byproduct of him coming in and working very, very hard, working hard in video study, working to take care of his body. I think he's worked really, really hard to put himself in these situations and opportunities to make these catches, and he's been able to do that. And we've needed that. We've needed a spark from him and from that group, and I think that's really helped us.
To go back to Kurt real quick, it would obviously seem like he would be a candidate for a 6-year, a red shirt. Would he want to do that? Have you talked to him about that at all? Would he want to return for a 6th season if it was possible?
There's a lot that goes into it. First of all, it's not a slam dunk, and it's going to be really based on what he wants to do, and we would support him. But there's so much that goes into that decision. And I know that Kurt is a very driven young man. He's very goal-oriented. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead, whether it's his career in football or whether it's his career after football. I've never been around a more mature, positive individual that has a plan for everything. Nothing happens by chance with Kurt Magid. So we'll cross that bridge as we go, and we'll support him, but I know he's got a lot of plans and things that he wants to do in moving forward.
Coach, what's your philosophy on the end of the halves, especially at the end of the second quarter when you have timeouts, you have, probably over a minute remaining like you had Saturday? I know you went for it on that first play. I know there was a fumble kind of set you back, but in general, what's your philosophy there when you have timeouts and over a minute to go?
Well, it's based on it's based on really the flavor of the game, and I mean that in terms of strategically or structurally, what's the defense giving you? So I think some of it is the defense, it's the personnel, it's the field position, it's how many timeouts the opposing team has. There's so much that goes into that decision-making process. I was watching a couple games, and when you're watching games and your team's not playing, you still try to coach the game, and now it's your time to kind of second guess and say, okay, I would do this, and then they play the play and this happens. And there was a couple games that were lost when, I think sometimes you can be greedy in the first half and you turn the football over or you create a short field for the opponent and then they go in. So, you try to look at all those scenarios that go into it. And, we felt we had some good things to be able to try to come away with 3 points at the end of the first half, and then look what happened to us. We pushed the pocket, and we didn't push it vertically. We got outside the pocket, and we put the ball on the ground, and fortunately, we recovered the football, or now we basically gave them 3 points. So I think it's a fine line of, where you're at in the game, the kind of the flavor of the game, the defensive structure that you're facing, and does your team need momentum? If you give up a momentum play and it backfires, how's that going to hurt you in moving forward? So you take all that into consideration and account. But you never really know until, it happens.
But your first down production in the first half against South Carolina was good. Second half it wasn't. You've had stretches sometimes where the first half production hadn't been what you wanted. Can you pinpoint why?
Well, we try to go back and look at all that. First down efficiency for us is everything, and it's really puts you on schedule to have a manageable third down situation, and our goal is 4 yards. And when we've been successful, we've had big plays, and we've also been ahead in that first down efficiency, and we want to be about 65%. That's our goal on first down efficiency. And when we've struggled is obviously not being there. I think sometimes opponents try to take things away from you. So I think, again, a lot goes into it. Sometimes it's, 1 out of 11. It may be 10 individuals doing their job, and, the 11th, we don't quite win that battle, and that happens. And that's what makes football the greatest team sport. So a lot goes into that.
Just looking at this game, how did this game kind of come together? And when it comes to scheduling non-conference games in the middle of conference season, how does that work? How do you guys kind of plan for that? And when do you like to how do you like to set up games like this?
Scheduling is now become one of the most difficult things going because of the parameters of how many Power 5 conference schools you have to play, trying to get it to where does it fit in your schedule. And these games sometimes have been set up many years in advance. I didn't have anything to do with this game. This game was on the schedule, so I didn't have any input on that or anything. But our administration has done a great job. I do have input. We're working 5 to 10 years in advance. And I will tell you this, it's becoming harder and harder and harder to make a non-conference schedule. I think because of the restrictions that you have, but also people understand what we're building here. And so it's been a challenge in and of itself. And like I said, our administration has done a tremendous job with that. But in terms of North Texas, that was the schedule, and we're looking forward to playing them on Saturday. Thank you, everybody. All right. Have a good day.